Hello everyone, so I have a good bit of explaining to do here about specifically this, and I want to talk about it more, and why of course that there'll be two channels now from now on. And to put it simply and to put it nicely to people, for too long, and I think it'd be genuine about this, and I have to be honest with you, there was a policy for a long time with me particularly not to show up the people of Cavan and not to kind of embarrass the people of Cavan or to bring dishonour, I suppose is the right way, to the people of Cavan. And oftentimes, I didn't say stuff that I probably shouldn't for the people of Cavan and spoke up a lot more loudly. And of course, there's things in Ireland and stuff, of course, that I cover on the other channel, on my main channel and stuff. But I do think it's important. And again, that policy is out the window. It's gone. That days are gone. Them days are long gone. It's there's no longer that will to just protect Cavan's reputation, because let's be fair, the people at the top, of this country, the people at the top of the establishment here, even in Cavan too, they don't care. So it's that they don't care. So why should I care about Cavan's reputation? In other words, what I'm trying to say is everything's off the table. Basically, what I'm trying to say, there's no loyalty to just being quiet and saying nothing about it. Everything's going to be talked about, everything's going to be discussed, there's nothing going to be forgotten about. What I mean to say is this channel is basically going to do with all of County Cavan. This is going to, we're going to talk about things that I should have talked about for years, and I should have addressed for years, specifically Cavan. And I think it's necessary that we do this, specifically to have a channel that we can address stuff about Cavan, because Cavan, unfortunately, is getting worse. It's getting worse. For years, I suppose I wasn't tough enough, and I'm going to be extremely tough from now on. You're going to see a different side of me now, and simple as that, on this channel particularly, not so much on my other channel, but I'm going to be a lot more fierce, a lot more tougher, because we have to be. Our county is gone to hell, our country is going to hell, but our county is going to hell, and it's all because of weak leadership and people being too afraid to speak out. And I say that honestly, and I say that opusly, and even myself, I'd be honest with you, for years too, when I was younger, I was too afraid to speak out, too afraid to be called names, too afraid to speak and to say what I seen wrong. But no longer will I put up with that. No longer should we put up with that as the people of Cavan. But I'm saying to the people of Cavan, I'm giving you an objective. And it's not just me, it's the people of Cavan, all of us together. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to stand up for our county. Our county is being abused. Our people are being abused by our government, by our local representatives in a lot of cases too, are abusing us. Not in a lot of cases, I know a lot of them, and a lot of them are decent people, but they're too afraid to speak up about what's happening in the country. And I say that to them, and that's nearly as worse, being afraid to speak and to call out what's happening in our country. So I say to the people of Cavan, we have to fight this. We have to stand up and be counted for our children, not for ourselves, but for our children, because unfortunately Cavan's going down, and it has gone down a dark part the last 30 years, and it continues to go down a dark path. And we have to talk about it. We have to address it. And I think running away from this, and for a long time I didn't want to address it, to be generally honest, a lot of it. Not really that I didn't want to. I didn't want to show the people of Cavan up. I didn't want to show the county up. I didn't want to bring dishonour to the people of Cavan. And that's just, to be totally honest, that was my main focus. And unfortunately, it protected the establishment. It wasn't meant to, but it did protect the establishment by not calling out things that should have been called out. And of course, obviously, my other channel, I have 110 things to talk about every day, basically. So basically, this would be only to talk about Cavan issues. And of course, as I say, I said this before, and to hell and the Connacht if the people deem this treason or whatever they want to call it. But Cavan should have its own independence, and what I mean by that is the people of Cavan own this county. Nobody else has authority, never will and never shall have the authority to own Cavan but the people of Cavan. And this is the thing, that the people of Cavan should have the sovereignty to decide what they want in this county. And what I mean by that is Dáil and Shannon and the people up in the government departments, in the Department of the Health, Department of Social Welfare, etc. They're all making decisions in Dublin that affect the people in Cavan. And the people of Cavan should have a say. What I mean by that, the people of Cavan should have the sovereignty, not the people in Dublin that govern over us, because the people are the sovereignty. And that's the thing we've forgotten about. So I'm proposing that the county seeks more autonomy from this country, and that's to be generally honest with you, because this country has abused the people of Cavan. Not just the people of Cavan, the people of every county. But I said to the people of Cavan, we can't put up with it. And I say that to them, to the people of Cavan, we have to fight it. And as I say, and the reason why too I'm putting this channel up is because I will win in the next local election unless God forbid something happens. Because I'm sick and tired, and this is to be generally honest and straightforward and honest with people, that I'm sick and tired of the state of this country. I don't want to get more. I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't care about the money. I don't care about. I never wanted to be a politician. I always was a bit shy of myself, and I always was a bit nervous in myself, etc. That was always something when you're dyslexic and stuff. It does affect you. But, it comes to a point in life, when particularly my stage in life, where you have nothing else to lose, to stand. And you have to speak up, because God forbid the children that are growing up now in Cavan, they're going to have to deal with it 50 times worse, and we have to do something. And for too long, I said, oh, let somebody else do it. And I suppose, speaking generally, I said, oh, let somebody else do it. Let somebody else take it over. And I don't want the power. I never wanted to be a politician. I never wanted to be one of those people that are on an ivory tower. I never cared about that. I never wanted to. But unfortunately, I have to. And that's the sad reality. It's unfortunate I have to. But we'll see how we go with the next election. But I do think it would have to. There's no other choice in the matter. Because I know in myself, and this is the thing, I know in myself that I couldn't care a damn about the money. And to be totally honest, I want to kind of do away with my job, even if I did become a councillor. I would want to do away with it. What I mean by that is giving the people back their power. Instead of me telling them what to do, the people will decide what they want us to do as councillors, etc. Because that's the way it should be. The moment in time is the councillors telling the people what to do. And that's not the way it works. It should not be the way it works. So, I would be doing myself out of a job there. But in all seriousness, Cavan has gone down a dark road, and we have to fight. And I say this to the people of Cavan: don't be afraid to be called out. Don't be afraid to say anything. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't be afraid. It's natural to be afraid of stuff, but don't be afraid. Simple as that. Just don't be afraid. Never be afraid to speak your mind. For too long, I sat and said nothing, and that's the simple truth. And I say this to people too: if we will cover everything we can about Cavan. Of course, it's going to be difficult to try and manage two channels and to manage because it's so much happening in this country. But I do think it's necessary, and it's sad. And again, this is the thing I've been putting off for years, because I said, "Oh, somebody else is sorted and something else will happen." But I'm not sitting here saying I have all the answers. I'm not sitting here and saying that to you. I'm not going to be lying to you. I don't have all the answers. I'm not God. But we can try and do things differently. We can try and make a difference in our own ways, in our own small ways, small differences. And I say that. But the one way you make a difference is by speaking out, and it's about starting that discussion, getting that discussion on the road before you can do anything else. So I say to the people of Cavan, I will do my best to expose as much as possible. I do my best to talk about as much as possible. For you, not for me. I couldn't give a damn. I don't care if I get 1 billion subscribers. At the end of the day, what I'm in for now in life, and the simple as that, and the thing of the last few years, nothing else matters. It's the only thing that matters is the truth, and that the people have their rights and the people have their sovereignty, and of course the people don't. They've been taken away from them every day of the week. So I hope I can do some good, and that's the only my main goal. I hope I can do some good for the people of Cavan, because I owe it. I grew up here. I'm determined to spend the rest of my life here. I'm determined to die here, and that's as simple as that. And I do my best to speak up, as I always have over the years too. But for years I kind of didn't speak out about many different things. I didn't say things, mainly because I wanted to protect the county's reputation and the county's image. And you could say I was a fool, but I did have the best intentions at heart, and I will generally admit that, because I do think very highly of our county, our people. I think so highly of our county. I've spent all my life. I've done everything I could to promote this county to the best of my abilities. And I'm not afraid to say that, because I have done my best for the county, and I intend to continue to do my best, and I should have done more, and that's the simple truth. And I'll be honest, I should have done no more, but that changes, and that changes right here, right now. So I do ask you for your support in starting this next channel. Of course, there probably won't be huge discussions, but we talk about as much as we can. There's many things we have to talk about, but that will come in the next few weeks. Thank you for the moment.